So this quick little video is going to be about the audio problems I've had with making YouTube videos pretty much since the beginning. So if you even go back to my Guild 2 videos, you'll notice the first few Guild 2 videos at least, you can hear noise, because at that time I didn't even bother to try to fix that audio noise problem. And I think I was using a headset, and so you hear a bit of the static, just kind of ambient noise. But eventually I think I did fix those. And the other thing I was doing was I was mixing your voice audio and the game audio, and you can not mix them if you want to. Like if you use Fraps, for example, you can have Fraps record both the computer's sound, which will be from the game, and your own mic sound. But what you also can do is you can tell Fraps to not record your voice through the mic, and then what you do is you have Audacity running or some other sound recorder, and while you're playing the game you use Fraps to record the game music, and then you have a headset on so you can still hear it yourself, and then you record your mic audio with another program running at the same time. And then when you go to edit the video, you have to then take the audio file that was saved from Audacity, for example, if you use that program, and the video file that just has the game music, and then put them together and then sync them up so that your audio commentary is aligned with what's going on in the game, which is a little bit easier if you have your face there. Like you might notice that some people have YouTube videos where they've got their face in the corner of the video. If you've got that going on, then you've got to, of course, you got to be even more sensitive to that. You have to link your audio up to your face and your facial expressions. But if you don't have that, then you don't have to be as sensitive with where the audio is, because pretty much within maybe a second, no one will really notice if your audio is a bit out of sync with the game. After doing that for a while, when I started making the channel, I eventually bought webcams, and I have two webcams. I have a Creative, I think it's called VD something webcam, and it has been pretty good, and it has a built-in noise reducer. You may notice that the S sound is bad on it, and the recent channel update video I made, the setup was a bit complicated. I actually was using VDub, which is actually a decent program. It's called Virtual Dub. And what you do is you can use different devices in VDub. So actually I have another webcam it's a Microsoft Cinema HD, something like that. And I was using it to record video, and its video quality is pretty good. Except for some reason it focuses a bit too much. I'm not sure why. But its video quality is pretty good, but its audio is crap. And there's all kinds of YouTube videos about the static from these Microsoft webcams, which I wish I had found. I certainly would have researched it when I bought it, but I don't recall seeing any of those. So there's a bit of buyer's remorse there. But it's got known mic issues, and some people even have recommended taking the webcam apart and replacing the microphone in some of them. But anyways, this Microsoft webcam is bad for its audio, but its video quality is good. So what I use is, for some of those book videos, I use Virtual Dub, and I use the Microsoft webcam for the video only, and then I use the Creative webcam for its sound only. The only problem with using it is that you have to put a sock on it so the S's aren't really bad. You don't get the hisses and stuff. You have to do that, otherwise you get those hisses. But the nice thing about the Creative webcam is it has a built-in noise reducer, so it's pretty good. And I get a bit of noise being in an apartment and having cars travel down the road. I don't live next to a busy road, but there's still the cars that go by. And the other thing that's a problem is my desktop computer is very noisy, and it's got some big fans in it, but it's actually not the big fans from the case. Actually, what makes all the noise is the power supply, believe it or not, in it. It's actually a pretty old computer. I built it way back in, I think, 2006 6 or so. I think I built it way back when out of parts, and I just ordered stuff from NCIX mostly, and I think it was mostly NCIX hard drives and everything like that. And the power supply is a 650 watt, and the newest thing in there is a video card that I bought about 2 years ago, but the motherboard and the processor are old. But anyways, my desktop is noisy, so that is a problem for when I record stuff, because then the noise reduction has to be, I don't want to say severe, but it's certainly medium maybe. That the worse the noise, the lower your audio quality, because the noise reducer will actually damage some of your own audio. I guess audio technology is not sufficient enough, not advanced enough yet, that we can actually edit out noise only. When you try to edit out noise only, you start to lower the quality of your own voice audio. And that's why, of course, radio and interviews are done in almost soundproof rooms, just to try to get rid of the noise. We don't have the technology yet to get rid of noise in a good way that doesn't damage your own audio quality. So, of course, the only practical solution for people, for institutions or businesses, is to have soundproof rooms. That's what we have to do, because, like I said, the technology isn't there. So, of course, being in an apartment, you don't have that luxury. So there's sound issues that occur, and then, of course, if microphones just suck, then you have that problem as well. So right now I'm actually recording on my little netbook. It's a netbook. It's a 10-inch screen. I used to have giant laptops. I used to play World of Warcraft way back in like 2002. I used to play on a giant, like 17-inch wide laptop that actually had hot air coming out of it when I would play WoW. Hot, not quite steam, but hot air coming out of the vents. But slow. The laptop after that I had was a 15-inch, and then after that I went to a 10-inch, and I've always just been satisfied with a small. It's not even a laptop. It's called a netbook. And using the netbook, the only problem is using the netbook to record. And the recent book videos I made, I actually used my netbook to record. And of course, the processor, because it's not very good, it's not really able to process the video very well. So I had to go way down to 10 frames per second, and which is actually okay for just doing, for not doing video games. Just for you standing there talking, 10 frames per second actually is fine. If you go any lower, then you start to see a little bit of distortion. But what's strange is that because the netbook could not process the video data, you get humongous video files. That 11-minute channel update video was, I think it was something like 10.5 gigs. So when I was finished recording that file, it produced a 10.5 gig video file. And you might think that's insane. Why would it do all that? Well, what is happening is when you record a video, the more processing power the instrument has, so whether it's a computer or whether it's a video camera, right, a self-contained video camera, like a camcorder kind of, the more processing power it has, the more it can actually process the video as it's storing it in the hard drive. The less processing power you have, the less it can process, and the more it has to just slam down everything that's incoming. That's why you get humongous video files, because the processor cannot process anything, very little anyways, and it just writing down everything, and that's why you get these humongous files. So making these book videos, I was producing like 11 gig files. So, but still, the reason why I was using the netbook to record is because I wanted to avoid using my desktop, because my desktop's noisy because of the fans. But my netbook has a tiny little fan inside of it somewhere. It must have a little tiny fan somewhere inside of it. But it doesn't make really any noise at all. And actually, the netbook's own mic is decent. It's not amazing, but that's what I'm using right now, but it's decent. So that's kind of been the sound issues, and I just thought I would belt that out because I do know there are sound problems, and sound stuff is irritating, and I wish I didn't have to worry about it. But thus far, my experience, I've either had sort of lower quality audio but doesn't give you any problems, and that's this netbook, which I'm recording on right now. I've had problems with just mics being awful, but having a good camera, like the Microsoft one. Or I've had problems with the Creative one just being something I have to put a sock on and do a little bit of noise editing, or doing a little bit of anti-hissing stuff. Some program you can use in Audacity, something called it's like Fish something. There's a program you can use in Audacity to fix hissing. But anyways, so those are some of the issues I've had with audio recording, and the constant battle it is, and the time I spent in trying to fix audio stuff. I wish I didn't have to do, but I thought I would just let you all know about that, just in case you were wondering. And if you, another thing I'll say is that I have looked into getting more expensive microphones. Like there's those not Nomad, what are they called? Those Yetis, those Yeti ones, like Snowball Yeti ones. They're kind of like on a little stand, and they have like a big globe. I think they're called Yeti microphones. And there's something I was looking into those, and there's something about that they pick up a ton of noise. So if you could never use one outside, and you probably couldn't use one on your desktop computer either. I think the mics that seem to be pretty good, like this crappy Netbooks mic, there's something about the ones that are directional, and they don't pick up as much noise because they only pick up stuff that's coming at them. I don't quite understand the physics of the sound waves, but they seem to pick up only waves directed at them, and they don't pick up waves that are all over the place. And that seems to work out quite well when you have a somewhat noisy environment. But these Yeti mics, they're some type. The Yeti mic is some kind of mic, and that kind of mic picks up everything. And if you have a somewhat noisy environment, you're screwed. It picks up way too much noise. I guess it's just too sensitive. So I don't think that's a solution. So I don't really know what the solution is other than what I've been doing. Maybe just using my netbook mic, because it seems to be, even though the quality is a little bit lower, there's no BS. And my time is important. I don't want BS. So I may just use the netbook mic and just not worry about all the time spent trying to monkey with the other webcam mics. So if you have any comments, and if you have any information or insight on audio quality based on the circumstances I've been describing, then I would be infinitely gracious of trying to either improve my audio quality, but at the same time not spending hours trying to monkey with the audio in Audacity or whatever.